To celebrate the paperback release of Casey McQuiston's epic road trip romance, The Pairing, I've decided to make an Italian dish. The book follows two exes, Kit and Theo, as they accidentally reunite on a European road trip in which they decide to place a bet to see who can seduce the Italian tour guide first. If you're a lover of food, travel, and second chance romance, this book is for you. When making carbonara, I like to start with the water for the pasta, as that takes the longest amount of time, making sure it's properly salted. Then I will separate the egg whites and egg yolk for 6 different eggs, as that is how many you will need for this recipe. You will not need the egg white, so you can throw that away or keep it for a baking recipe, anything you might need it for later. Then I will put that aside, and as I didn't have any grated cheese, I grated my own block of Parmesan cheese. The recipe that I've been following for the past few years says to use about 50 grams. However, I don't know what that looks like, so I tend to just eyeball it, and it's always come out right, so I wouldn't fuss too much about it. The final ingredients for the sauce is black pepper. You can use as much or as little as you'd like, and all you have to do is mix it with a whisk. Once that's done, you can put the sauce aside and focus on the final part of the recipe, which is cooking the pancetta. If you're nothing like me and can multitask whilst cooking, I would suggest doing this step first, and whilst it cooks, focus on making the sauce. Once it's cooked to a nice crispy brown, you can remove it from the pan as you'll be using that for the pasta. By this point, your water should be ready for the pasta. You can use whichever you like. I like mine to be al dente, so I did 6.5 minutes instead of the 7+ recommended. Once the pasta is ready, don't throw out the water, as you'll be using that for the sauce. I like to use a pair of tongs to remove the pasta, as it retains a lot of the water and it helps lengthen out the sauce. You'll want to have the pasta on low heat, as when you mix the sauce in together, it will heat it up itself, especially with the hot water from the pasta that you'd mixed in. Then all that's left to do is mix it together. I had to add a little bit more water as it was really thick this time. And finally, you can throw in the pancetta, mix it all together, and you've got your carbonara ready to be eaten. I must say, this dish was the perfect choice to pair with my reread of The Pairing, along with a refreshing glass of mango juice. This might be the best carbonara that I've ever made. Honestly, so good. As of May 6th, the UK paperback of The Pairing by Casey McQuiston is now out, this time in a lovely lilac. If you weren't able to read it last year, now is the time, especially with summer right round the corner. You won't want to miss out.